It's expensive to be made.
Welcome to Bravo's Moms Unfiltered, the podcast where real moms spill the tea on all the things Bravo and the chaos of everyday life.
We're your hosts, Allie and Crystal, two Bravo-assessed moms who aren't afraid to say what everyone's thinking completely unfiltered.
From housewives drama to mom life meltdowns, we're here to break it all down with humor, honesty, and maybe a little bit of bitching.
So grab your favorite drink, settle in, and get ready for some unfiltered fun.
Salt Lake City. I did 2 episodes in one here. Episode 14. We start off with Angie walking straight into a server, breaking glass, and then the tray hits her lip. From how it looked like she hit the wall. I thought she literally ran into the wall. But there's another footage, and you see her running into the server. How did she do this to herself?
She's probably on her phone.
She's so
probably
acting
looking
prone.
down on
Remember
her
at the
phone.
cruise, she like got her finger stuck in the door. Now
Mhm.
this.
Mhm.
It was just like, oh my gosh. I hope her husband has good life insurance on her because she's accident prone. Rowan said the lip filler was like a seatbelt for her nose because her nose didn't break. I thought that was funny.
God.
So they're going to go have their picture on this white bridge with like the sea behind them. So they all pick out different colorful dresses. I thought the pictures turned out really pretty. But why is Mary wearing like a brown sweater over her jacket? I felt like she kind of ruined it. Like everyone's in these bright colors with really long like trains. And then Mary, I think, was like in a yellow dress and then had like a brown sweater over it. Or I don't know. I didn't like what she did with it. I feel like she should have kept the dress alone.
I don't know. I have to look back at it. I have to rewatch this episode. I only got through the first like 30 minutes of it. Yeah.
Whitney and Heather noticed how different Meredith's attitude is today, and they said they hope that it will last compared to last night where she was all upset. At lunch, Mary said something is going on with Meredith and she needs help. She has too many highs and lows. And I feel like coming from Mary, because Mary and Meredith are close, that means a lot that she says it. But I also think Mary can see things differently now that her son has gone through addiction issues of his own. I feel like she can kind of spot stuff now because of that. She knows what to look for.
Uh-huh.
Mary says she sees it, but she doesn't think Meredith does, which obviously I don't think she does at all. Or
Well,
else she would have admitted it, especially if she is in some type of addiction or whatever. You don't know it. So then they all break down at lunch over this. I don't remember who's at lunch, but they all kind of break down. I think it was Mary, Whitney, and Bronwyn. So they all kind of have a breakdown. Bronwyn said she ran into Seth in New York, and she said it felt weird. He stopped to say hi to them, and he was out with a woman at a restaurant. So I don't know if Bronwyn actually is telling the truth or this is a lie, but she tells the ladies here. The rest of the ladies are at a spa in the pool. So you're supposed to be quiet in the spa. There's a sign that says like no talking, no nothing. So they're in the pool and they're all whispering like this.
I remember this part.
Yeah.
Like,
So they're all in the pool and they're all trying to relax. And then Brittany's going around just like splashing everyone. Like, what is she, 5? Like, so after the pool, they asked Brittany why she splashed water. And she said she wanted to keep, why they splashed water because they wanted to keep their hair good for dinner. So that's why they weren't like submerging. They were just kind of like putting half their body in. She said she wanted to lighten the mood. And then Brittany says no one asked if her daughter texted her yesterday for Mother's Day. I was like, really? Why do we always have to bring it back to you and your kids? Like, we know you don't have a good relationship with them. Why would they bring this up? I feel like if we were to bring that up, we would be hurting your feelings because we know you don't have a good relationship with your kids. So like, why?
why bring such a subject?
Yeah. Yeah.
They're so
So
cute.
I said this whole argument is so funny because they have to whisper and then they get asked to be quiet by the attendant. So they're literally fighting like this. Like, Brandy, why did you do this? Why are you doing this? And the whole argument, they are whispering. It's the funniest thing ever. And
Kind
the lady comes by and goes, and they're like, yes,
Why even film?
I know. Where you know you're gonna get kicked out.
None of the hotel rooms are big enough for all the women to fit in. Like, you have to go to the spa.
Yeah, where you have to be quiet. You know you can't talk. So then the lady comes back and literally says, "You guys need to leave." Like, she kicks them out. Yeah.
Good
Um,
for her. Good for her.
on the car ride, Lisa asked Brittany if she's an alcoholic because she was drinking and then would throw up and then drink some more. I think she's referring to when they were on that the yacht.
Mm-hmm.
So then while they're at dinner, Brown leaves to take a phone call from Todd. I guess he's helping her mom pack up the last of her things and that she isn't there to help out. So I don't know. I feel like now that I know that she is divorcing Todd, I see things differently now. But I was like, why would he call her to tell her this when she knows she's 8 hours ahead? She's in Greece. She can't do anything. Like, why put more stress on her when you already know she feels bad that she's not there?
Yeah.
Like, just take care of it and then text her, "It's taken care of, we did it." Like,
Yeah.
why? Like, I don't know. I didn't get the point of the phone call. They all take a shot.
Just
Mary
guilt trip
Mary
her.
Yeah,
That's what they
probably,
wanna do. They
probably.
wanna guilt trip you because you're not here and you're over there trying to
Yeah.
make money, trying to make your own
I'm here
money.
helping your mom when you're over here on doing this.
Mhm.
So then they all get shots, and the way Mary takes a shot is so fun. She just, like, licks it. So then they all start taking a shot like Mary does, to start licking it.
Stop it.
Whitney goes, "Let's take it how Mary takes it." So they do that. That was funny. At dinner, Brittany asked where Lisa found out about her drinking, and Meredith said it was her. Brittany was like, "Okay, but who told you?" And she found out it was Bronwyn because, of course, who else would know? They shared a room on the yacht. So Bronwyn obviously heard this and then went to tell someone, and then that's just kinda how it went. Um Heather said Brittany is the most accomplished out of all of them, and the ladies do not like that at all. And I think she's referring to as like she's a real estate. She's also done like other things as well and been on like other shows.
Yeah, she was remember last episode? She was in her own singing group, her
Yeah,
family.
which I don't think that makes her the most accomplished. I think these ladies are all accomplished in different ways. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? They all say that Heather sticks up too much for Brittany, which I can kind of see that. But I feel like Heather feels some type of way about Brittany, and she feels like she needs to stick up for her, like kind of like take her like under her wing type thing. Because I think she's been there. She's been the outcast between like leaving her marriage, leaving the church and stuff like that, the Mormon church. So I think she kind of feels for her a little bit.
Yeah, and that's another thing, it's so Salt Lake City's so small, everybody knows each other, and
Yeah.
when you're in the Mormon group, everybody knows the Mormon group.
Yes. Yeah.
I think that's
Um,
something they have in common.
and then they end up getting kicked out of the restaurant because the restaurant is closing.
So they got kicked out of the hot tub or the spa, and now they're getting kicked out of the
Yeah,
restaurant.
and Angie goes, what did Angie say? She said something about like, "Sir, like, you don't need to kick us out. I'm Greek, like, I understand." He goes, "No, ma'am, the restaurant literally closed. You guys need to leave."
Like, "We
And
wanna
then
go home, not
yeah,
listen to your
and
bitching."
so then Angie goes, "Okay." She goes, "I've never been kicked out of 2 places twice in 1 day because of the spot." And then so then they're all laughing, and then they finally leave, and you can hear the server saying Greece, they finally left or something like that. So I thought that was funny that they got kicked out twice.
I'd be so embarrassed to go back.
So episode 15, this is the final before the finale. They're going to a play that it was called Stella. Is going to write a Greek play about the ladies. So she meets up with them, and she wants to know about the ladies themselves, and then just about like the ladies in general, like what they have to say, because she's going to turn this into a Greek play that's a tragedy.
Mhm.
So seeing the footage that they said was kind of funny, and how they would explain each other to this lady was also funny because she would take this and then write this into the play.
Interesting.
So we learned that last night Meredith texted Bronwyn to come to her room. She said Meredith was feeling paranoid and nervous about what everyone was saying, and she wants to know what they talked about at lunch because she wasn't at that lunch with Mary, Bronwyn, and Whitney. Bronwyn realizes that Meredith is using her, and she doesn't like this. She realized that anytime something happens, Meredith will sneakily, whenever they're not filming, text her or call her and try and get information about what happened in that scene that she wasn't involved with. Which I didn't realize because this all happens behind the scenes. So Bronwyn realizes that and feels used. She sees her outside and goes to confront her. And Meredith spins it that Bronwyn was anxious about the play and what people are going to say about her. And then Bronwyn says, "I'm not doing this anymore for you. I'm not going to be the person you come to get information at." And then Bronwyn leaves. They meet up with Angie's cousin and have lunch with him. He was just a cute little Greek guy. He sat between Lisa and Heather the whole time. And I think he was just loving having American girls around him. It was funny. It was what they needed, some like relief from all the drama.
Yeah.
On the ride back, Heather asks Bronwyn what's wrong. She says she feels like Meredith has gaslighted her and tries to pump information out of her. So then we go to the play. This was their
Almost like
last night.
Elisa.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
go to the play. This was their last night. And I didn't really take much notes about it, but I thought the play was interesting and spot on about who each other was. So they all have scarves that correlate to the person in the play. So let's say like Lisa had a blue scarf, but that blue person in the play was her. So that's kinda how you kept track of who each other was.
Okay.
And then the lady would be like, "Sister Lisa, thinks she's above everyone else." She said she thinks she's above everyone else and, like, looks down at everyone, like it was just very spot on from what the lady said about each other, and so Heather says maybe they should be more real with each other after seeing this play and kind of learning what each other said about each other. Bronwyn said she was mortified from what they all said. She was crying and realized what they said about her was also true. Lisa breaks down and says she needs her friends and she needs to lean into them more, which I thought was kind of big of her because I feel like she really thinks she is above everyone. Meredith said she was trained to use her words cautiously, so she is sensitive and hurt easily, and she's afraid of letting people in. The kind of thing that makes sense why she always has a shield up and she gets so defensive about everything.
I do remember her saying that. Like, she doesn't know
Yeah.
how to be a good friend because she's never had a good friend. She's always focused on what's her husband's name? She's always focused on her husband, and she had a daughter
Yeah.
age. She's never really had that experience.
Yeah. So, and then we just get the little like ending where it just kind of talks about what everyone is doing. I believe Whitney got her business back. The Whitney, was it Wild Rose Beauty? She got
Uh-huh.
her name back. Bronwyn basically hints that her and Todd are separated, but her mom and her daughter are still living with her. Angie is now has Greece citizenship. Lisa, I don't remember what happened with Lisa, and I don't remember what happened with Meredith, but that was basically the end of the episode, was that whole play, and then that was it. So we'll see what happens in the finale. I don't know if the finale's 2 parts or 3 parts. I'm assuming it's 3. They typically do a 3-part finale.
Yeah, Andy walks off.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, it
I
was the
saw that.
first time in history Andy
Yeah.
one that walks off the stage because they won't shut up.
And I'm not surprised. So, Vanderpump Rules, I have episode 4 and 5 right here. So, episode 4, Natalie meets up with Venus and Brian, who I guess works at Tom Tom. She filled him in what he missed after he left the party. Venus said he's ending his friendship with Marcus at work today after that whole text message that he sent to them. Back at work, we learned that Jason and Angelica spent the whole day or spent all night canoodling. And then he went to say hi to another girl and was canoodling with her after that, so she left. I don't blame her. I probably would have left too if I was canoodling with someone all night. He went to go
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
to a girl. I would have probably done the exact same thing.
And sat on his lap or whatever.
Yeah, I would have been like,
His
"What?"
response was, "She shoulda came and
Ex
kissed me," or something. I was
No.
like,
No, my response would be like, "What the fuck? I'm done."
"No,
Like,
sir, that's"
why did we just do this? I'm not chasing after anyone.
Exactly.
So he pulls her outside to talk, and he says he went to say hi to his friend, and she started to become flirty, and he wanted her to come over and save him. Like, what? Who does that?
Men that wanna be a woman?
So then we learn she is going through a divorce, but she still lives with her ex, and they still sleep in the same bed together, and we also learn that they still hook up occasionally. So she is a mess. So I don't think she can really be mad at Jason if you are kinda doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Shane comes into Sir, and he sits at the bar where Natalie is working. He comes in with another girl, of course. Marcus and Venus step outside to talk. Venus says he understands he lost his parents. Venus says that he understands Marcus lost his parents and his relationship with Kim is not great. So he gave Marcus some like grace with all of that.
Yeah.
But he's also kind of saying like you don't have to be an asshole because of this either. Like I'll give you some grace, but that doesn't give you the right to be an
Treat
asshole and just
treat
kind
your
of treat
friend.
everyone like
Yeah,
this.
and
Yeah.
that's what people do. They that's what JT or what's his face did,
Yep.
became an alcoholic and then started raging on his closest friends that were trying to be there for him.
Yeah. Yeah. And Marcus says he doesn't need Venus to be a flawless friend either. Venus doesn't want to be friends with Marcus and he leaves. Well, they both stand outside after this and they're both like, I'm not leaving, you leave. No, I'm not leaving, you leave. And I'm like, oh my God, you guys like 10? Like, don't you guys need to work? Like, you guys are going to have to leave eventually and go back in. Marcus meets up with Lisa and said he's doing better and learning to be a DJ. So he wants her to give him a chance to be the DJ at Sir. And I said, do we need another DJ?
We do not need another DJ.
Like, we've been there with James Kennedy. We do
It's
not need
called
another DJ. Why does everyone think
Spotify
they can
Spotify Remix. Like,
Yeah.
everybody pick a song, your favorite song
Yeah.
that works there, so they at least have something to
Yeah.
listen to.
But, like, why does everyone think they can be a DJ? Kyle's a DJ, Meredith is a DJ, now him.
How do
We
they
need
make money?
Like, we need to stop thinking we can all be DJs. I can put Spotify on and be a DJ too, like.
I can't.
So it's girls' night. All the girls are going out on the party bus. The group is kind of divided between like Natalie and Kim. Like you're kind of picking a side between the two. Jason brings up not talking to Angelica since they last work to Chris, I think, or Marcus. And Marcus says, "Why don't you text Angelica and tell her to meet us here after they go out for girls' night?" So he does, and she tells the whole group, "Jason just texted me." And they're like, "Well, okay, like tell him that you'll meet him after his shift at this place." So she says that she'll meet him there. Natalie wants to make up with Kim and she does not want to do it tonight since they have been drinking, which I don't blame her. Again, not the time or the place to make up.
I mean, she's smart.
Natalie starts to spiral when they get to the cowboy bar about Kim. I put my Salt Lake City notes there. Basically, that's kind of where that ends, is that Natalie spirals about this, doesn't understand why Kim doesn't want to make up at that specific time, and I think she ends up leaving, if I'm not mistaken.
That was real weird. Yeah.
Episode 5, they have a pre-shift meeting where I think it's Guillermo, that Natalie lady, and then Lisa. They talk about Chris and how someone says that he's a sex worker, aka does OnlyFans. Who doesn't do OnlyFans nowadays? I feel like that's like
I mean, I'm about to start OnlyFans.
how
Like,
everyone's making money these days. You know what I mean?
sign me up.
Marcus wants to DJ, which I think we already talked about that. Natalie and Angelica meet up to get their nails done after having a bad girls' night. Natalie says Kim asked her to Venmo her for her drinks at girls' night. And I was like, wow. Who does that? Normally back in the day when I'd go out with friends, if we bought drinks, I wouldn't ask you for money. I would do that out
Buy
of the
your
kindness
first
of my
drink,
heart.
then you buy my
Yeah,
next drink.
yeah, that's
yeah.
what you do. So I was like, well, that's kind of shady.
Yeah.
Jason did not go out with Marcus after girls' night. So after he sent Angelica these texts, Angelica said, "I'll meet you there." Jason didn't go. Again, we learned that Angelica's still sleeping with her ex while going after Jason. Angelica, Jason, and talk, and I said, "This is going to be messy. I don't understand this whole thing. They kind of just need to let that be." Marcus is DJing at Sir that night with McKenna, I think is the other DJ.
Dear Lord.
I know. Venus and Kim talk. She says Venus was their go-to person, and I said I think Kim and Venus can make up, but I don't know about Marcus. I think Kim is more level-headed and
Yeah.
can kind of understand things, but Marcus is kind of like, once you're done with me, like we're done. You know what I mean? Like you burn that bridge, we're done. Shane is so a player. That's not even funny. I do not like him at all.
I don't like
His laugh. Every time I hear his laugh, I was like, I know he is. So they go out and Venus' sister comes out. I think it was just a night out. And we learned from Venus that his sister hooked up with Peter once.
okay. Who hasn't?
I was just going to say, who hasn't hooked up with good old Peter?
I think that's how you get it. I think that's your interview to get in.
Right. Angelica breaks it to Jason that they would be better off as friends. After that, Shane and Angelica start talking and start like, he has her arm around her, and I was like, dear God, that was fast. A little too fast. And then they end up kissing, and everyone is kind of pissed about the whole situation between Shane and Angelica.
I'm gonna have to watch this last. I like the cast. It's intriguing me
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll have to watch this one. But yeah, this is getting great. This is
And then my absolute favorite show, The Valley Persian Style.
oh, you
I
watched it. Love
loved
it.
both episodes. I cannot wait for the season. Like, screw Potomac and Southern Charm. Give me this. Oh my gosh, I love this so much. So much. I don't know if it's because I can relate to it more. You know what I mean? Like their parents, they have kids.
Mm,
But I was like, oh my God, I love these 2 episodes.
I love Mercy.
So I can do a quick little recap. So we start off finding out that Mercedes, Gigi, and Reza were not on good terms, but they are now. Those 3 from the original Trials of Sunset are good. We find out that Mercedes works for Mo at the agency. Who doesn't work for Mo?
Mercedes is a
Yes.
realtor.
Yeah, she works for Mo.
Get out of here! And she does the talk show. She does the radio show.
Oh, she does? I
She's
didn't know
on the
that.
radio show with what's his name? He's the Mercedes radio. She does it on. She's on the radio show too. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, she's no. Let me figure it out. But yeah, she comes on every once in a while, at least once or
Well,
twice
good for
a week, like
her.
on a radio show with
Yeah, but yeah,
Becky.
they show a video of her and Mo talking, and when I saw that, I was like, "Shut the front door." I was like, "Who doesn't work for him?" Like, I feel like LA, the Valley, that area seems
Yeah.
so big, but it's so small.
Well, you
You
can
know what I
also
mean?
have it's a sponsorship. So when
Okay,
you go into realty, you have to have a sponsor for so
okay,
many years before you can venture on to your own or start your own
okay.
company. So depending on how long Mercedes has been a realtor, Mo could be a sponsorship, meaning
Got it,
that
got it.
he's sponsoring her and he also makes a portion of the
Of her
commission.
sales, yeah, yeah,
So, yes. But, I mean, still working for Mo, I mean, his clientele is pretty good.
yeah, yeah. So we learned that Mercedes and Tommy have been married for 7 years, didn't realize it had been that long. Gigi's son is now 5 years old, and she has 2 divorces under her belt, which I didn't realize that either.
2 divorces? I remember
Yeah.
she just got married and divorced within, like, 2 weeks.
Yeah, she has 2 divorces, she said. So she has never worked. This is Gigi. Gigi still has never worked, and she says Shaw's was her first paycheck.
She has her own company. She has her own weed company.
And she said she has a sex line too.
She has a sex line, and she has her own weed she married the guy who she co-owns the sex line with, I think.
Okay,
And
okay.
then when she exited Shaw's, she had her own cannabis brand that she was starting to initiate
That
the
sounds
lot.
familiar.
Yeah,
That
so
sounds
she's
familiar.
always it's not that she hasn't worked, she's worked, she's just never had a 9 to 5 job, she's never had a W-2.
Yeah.
Like, she has her own companies, so
Could we find out she needs to find a house since her landlord wants her house back? So that's kind of her storyline this season is she needs to find a house. She's still using daddy's money to pay for the house. And her friends keep telling her, you need to cut back your spending. So her current house that she's renting is like 6 bedrooms. One is for her son, one is for her son's playroom, and then the rest are for her clothes, is what she said. And she said she wants to downsize from 6 to 4. Yeah, and they keep telling her, "No, you need to be more realistic and find a house that will actually, like, be in your budget and not be in daddy's budget, and you need to watch your spending."
she said she spends how much a week on weed? Like
I was just gonna say, I don't remember that, but she said
14
she goes, like, every day or every other day, and she spends money on weed.
Girl, if you
And Reza was like, "What?" You said, "What?"
how are you spending money when you own your own cannabis line? Make it make sense. Unless
No.
she sold it. We'll have to find
That's
that
what
out.
I was wondering too.
She probably sold it, but she had
Adam and Reza have been married for 10 years and still have no kids. We meet a new couple, Sky, I'm just gonna call him Bam. I don't remember how to pronounce his name.
okay.
They have twins and have been married for 17 years. There's also an age difference between the 2. I wanna say maybe 10 years? 10 to 18 years
That's
between Sky and Bam.
17
Uh,
years.
Sky does jewelry
Okay.
and has, like, a jewelry company.
Uh-huh.
Gigi said she asked Sky to fix one of her rings, like, a year ago, and she never got it back.
Probably because you need to pay him before you
Right.
get your jewelry back. Sorry, Gigi. I love you.
And I said, "I forgot how much Tommy, Mercedes' husband is, but he is too much." I know he's, like, New York and has an accent, but I don't think I could be married to him. He is
I don't
way
think I
too
could be in a room with him.
I know.
He
He is
definitely has a bunch of anxiety, and in order for certain people to release the anxiety, they
yeah,
like to make jokes
yeah,
or just be loud.
yep.
Yeah, I just
So, it's Gigi's son Elijah's 5th birthday. She's having a birthday party. She rented some Airbnb so they could, like, use the pool and have, like, a pool party, I guess. I guess that's a thing to do.
okay.
And, Mercedes asked Tommy, "Are you going to the party?" And he said, "You know I don't do birthday parties." He said, "I don't do any social gatherings with any of your friends." He said after no one showed up after she gave birth to their son, and I guess, like, she had some really bad complications that I forgot about,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
no one was there for her. He doesn't show up to any of these parties. He doesn't interact with any of her friends.
I
And I was like,
mean,
That's gotta be hard, but I can also understand why they're getting a divorce now. After knowing that they're getting a divorce, this all kinda makes sense, seeing it. So, Gigi finally gets her ring back from Sky. she asks Sky, did you bring my ring? And she says no. So she has someone literally drop off the ring while they're at the party. She gives it to Gigi, and Gigi goes, what'd she say? Basically that she didn't do a good job with filling in the ring and stuff like that. She goes, I think she just sprinkled like gold flakes over it and called it a day. So Gigi calls her out on that. We meet, I think her name is like Tiana, and we learn that Sky and Tiana are very close friends. We also learn that Sky and Bam and Tiana and Greg, they're married. They all sleep in separate rooms from their significant other.
Well, yeah, some cultures do that. Some cultures do that during their cycle.
But they made it sound like they do it because the other person snores or just something like that, or they just like their space. So I was like,
I
that's kind of
know, yeah.
interesting. I don't know if, like you said, it's a cultural thing
Aaron's
or
parents did it.
or if this is a sign that your relationship is going south. But I found that interesting.
I've known a few people that their parents or their significant other. It's a sleeping thing. I know Aaron's mom and dad did it, and I know Aaron's uncle, my husband's mom and dad, and then my husband's uncle and his husband. They both sleep in separate rooms because of the snoring problem.
So I just found that interesting.
Yeah. I don't know if I could do it though. There's some times where like I just want my bed.
I could, but I don't know if I could do it every night.
Yeah. Every night would be different, but
Like every now and then, yeah, it'd be nice to just put on a Bravo show, just do my own thing. Not that Romeo cares, but it would just be nice. You know what I mean? It'd just be nice to be like, this bed is mine. I don't have to worry about you coming in my side, a dog getting into my space, or having a toddler come in as well. You know what I mean? Like this bed is all mine for the night.
speaking of that,
So
I gotta do my sheets.
you're welcome. So it is Parisian night, and Tommy does not come again. He drops Mercedes off and says, basically, like, be good. I think he's like her DD for the night.
Mm-hmm.
So before Gigi even gets here, they're all talking about Gigi and about how she has a bad credit score. She needs to downsize and not look for a 4-bedroom house. She needs to stop using her dad's money. Blah, 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 blah. Gigi's the last one to arrive. And the first thing that Mercedes does when Gigi gets there is tell her, go up to her. She hasn't even said hi to anyone at this point. Mercedes goes up to her and goes, we've been talking about you. Why would you do that when she walks right in the door? And Gigi goes, I need to get a drink. I can't deal with this right now. And Reza's like, why would a bitch be telling a bitch this? Like, I love how Reza talks. He talks like that. And I
I
was like,
love Reza.
and I was
Yeah.
like, I don't know why she did that. So,
Well,
she
Mercedes, she's probably been drinking.
yeah,
And
she's
she
got her
wants to
own
be a
shit
good
going on at her
friend.
house. Yeah,
I think her delivery was too early. I think she should have
correct.
pulled her to her side and be like, hey, real quick, come to the bathroom. Let's fix your
Yep,
lipstick. You got lipstick on your teeth. Let's go wipe that off. And then in
yep.
the bathroom, be like,
By the
hey,
way, we're talking about you.
I want to let you know that we're started with how your money issues. So that
Yeah,
way she's already got a heads up. She can think clearer, take a minute, fix your
yeah.
teeth, nose, whatever, and then go.
But because of this, um, it's weighing on Gigi's mind. They all start talking about it, and she doesn't like it, and she leaves because they don't like that she's talking about her. So she ends up leaving the party because of all this.
I wouldn't leave. I'd be like, let's go.
Yeah.
Who's first?
Which is kind of surprising because I feel like Gigi's like that. Gigi's like, I'll whack a bitch. You know what I mean? Like,
That's why she
look at
left.
me and like, I'll whack a bitch. But yeah, she did leave, which was kind of surprising, but
Well,
maybe that was good.
she has a case with Michael's ex or with that one guy's ex who's not on the show this year. She fought
Yeah,
that lady at the
that
mall.
Mike guy that cheated on his wife. Yeah.
Yeah, she fought that lady at the mall. And she has a restraining order. She can't get in any more fights, so she can't get in any fights this season.
Gigi. Episode 2, Gigi and Natasha. So Natasha is a new mom. Gigi met Natasha at drop-off. Natasha has 3 kids, 2 boys and a girl. They meet up at a slime place where their kids can play with slime. It looked like, I don't think I could bring my kids there because I would not like the mess. So they
It's
meet
not in your house, though.
I know, that's true. They did show a clip where it was on Gigi's foot, like on her shoe, and I was like, oh God, I would be so mad. I would be so mad. So they meet up there and they kind of talk about the night because the party was hosted at Natasha's house. So Gigi just talks about how she doesn't like that everyone's talking about her and all this stuff and to kind of leave it alone. Mercedes and Tommy go on their 4th date night of the year. They wanted to do 17 and they're down to 4 for the year. Her mom, Veda, I think Veda lived at the house. So Veda's watching their son Shams. We meet a new person named Reza Jax. He goes on a date with this girl Sophia that he met at Parisian night that Natasha set him up with. I think Sophia was their neighbor. And I feel like you can see the strain in Mercedes and Tommy's relationship during date night because she like tries to talk and he just tries to be like a smart ass. And you can tell she's really annoyed, one, that it's on camera, and two, that it's date night. Like, I think she just wants to have a good time. And he's just being like a smart ass the whole time. Like, towards the end, when they get the check, he goes, "Let me ask you this. If my wife were to show you her boobs, can we get a percentage off?" And Mercedes is like, "What?" "Yeah," like exactly that face you did. And the waiter goes, "Yeah, sure." And Mercedes is like shocked. Like, that's just who he is. And she says something also like, "Make sure you don't eat too much," or something like that. And he goes, "Yeah, so I don't like fart," or something like that. And I'm like, why would you say that on date night? Like, you're trying to have a
Weird.
good date night. And then you ruin it by, like, kinda being an asshole like that. And then Mercedes brings up how their son is kinda taking the assholiness that Tommy does, because he sees how Tommy does it to his mom. So, he is starting to do that to his mom.
Yeah.
Like, Mercedes they show a clip, like, Mercedes comes out, and she goes, "Oh, do you like my dress?" And her son, Sham, goes, "Yeah, it looks good. Now beat it." And I was like, "Oh, he is definitely getting this from Tommy." So,
For prime example, my son does this thing that irritates me now. I haven't got onto him because I know that he got it from dad, and I know the dad noticed the son doing it, and he noticed my face, and I am like, it's the whole whispering thing. Like,
yep. Yeah. Yep.
and Aaron's done that since day one that I met him, and I despise it. And now Ace does it all the time. Like, we'll be sitting at dinner or something, he'll get up from the chair, go to dad, and literally whisper in his ear. And I'm like, I don't say anything because my child is small and innocent, but you can tell, like, he's starting to get the dad traits or the dad habits. And I'm just like, I can't correct them, and I'm not mad at him.
Yeah.
But yes, what do you do? What do you do out like, what would you do? Like,
Yep, and it's hard to see it in that moment 'cause you don't want your child to know that it's wrong,
discipline
but
him.
but you also want to tell your husband about it, but you don't wanna forget too. You don't want it to, like, brush it under the rug, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh,
So
he knows.
it's like a
He
I'm
knows
saying
it.
it's like a fine line though.
Yeah. I give him the look, and I'm like,
Yes, exactly. We're
"You're
like,
cool." I'm
yeah,
like, "Great job, dad."
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
His girlfriend's definitely probably gonna say something in the near
yep,
future.
yep. Sophia and Reza Jax are on their date, and Sophia's a really good-looking girl. I think she's a little too good for him, but I also feel like Reza Jax is a player. That's the vibe I'm getting from him because he calls his mom, and his mom's like, "Oh, again, like, why haven't you found a girl? You're 35." And he's just kind of, like, being like, "Well, 35 or, like, 25 is the new 35," or something like that, and just kinda playing it off, and I'm just kinda like, I get the feeling that he's just a player, and he just doesn't wanna settle down. I think he does, but he'd rather just play the field.
'Cause
You
he
know what I
knows.
mean? Yes, exactly. So Sophia asked Reza Jax if he's a player, and he said that he basically says that he is and that he's retiring it for her. And I was like, I don't know how I feel about that." And she says, "Oh, does that mean I should stick around or should I wait?" And I was like, "That's a good question." Because it
No.
'cause yeah, because if he's saying this, you should probably not stick around.
You don't
'Cause
wanna
you
be that you don't wanna be
Yes,
that notch on his belt or that
yes.
example. You're just another
You're not notch on the belt, like you said.
yeah, you're a notch on the belt, or you're just another person that he's
Yes.
just like, "Let's see if this works. If it doesn't,
Yeah,
then I'll try
exactly.
again." Yeah,
Then
so
I'll go back to my ways, yeah. Reza and Gigi meet up, and he tells her again to stop spending so much money, so much of her dad's money, and she doesn't wanna hear it, and then they talk about how her sister Layla is a single mom with at least, I think, 2 kids, and how Layla and Gigi still do not get along, and that if something were to ever happen to Gigi's dad, they think the money would go to Layla and not Gigi, and that's why Gigi needs to stop spending the money. and kind of get her affairs in order. But again, like you said, if she owns 2 businesses, where is that money going? Why does she not have money? Why is she using her dad's money?
Well, then she may have sold them or she wasn't a good businesswoman or something because
Because I forget if she's talking to Natasha or Reza, but she says yeah, I think she was talking to Reza because she goes, "I need the money for my son's school," meaning he goes to probably a private
he
school.
goes to private school.
And then she said, "I need the money for this, I need the money for that," and that's where she brings up the weed and how much she spends on weed a day. So I was like, first of all, this is a little bit of this is on your parents for enabling you for so long
Yeah.
and not having you get a job and be cautious about your money. But how old do you think she is? 30 something, right?
Yeah, she's gotta be I mean, she's gotta be close to our age or we're 2 different ages. She's gotta be closer to 30s your age.
Yeah. That's what I thought too, at least 35, maybe 37.
Gigi,
Then
right?
yeah, but then she also talks about how she could meet up with one of her exes and ask him for the money. So I wonder if that's the ex that she went into that sex business with and, and he owes her money or something. But then
She's 44.
stop it, she's not.
She is 44. She was born in '81. She is older than me.
Wow, okay. I thought she was 35 to 37. Wow.
Yeah.
So then Mercedes joins them after she did, like, a house showing. And she sees that Reza and Gigi are kind of like having a fight with each other over the whole money thing. And I guess Reza was showing her houses and they decided that he would just be a friend and not be a real estate agent, which I think is good. I think that's also kind of where like this whole fighting thing came into play. But then we learned that Mercedes, that Gigi started an OnlyFans and she's getting money from her OnlyFans. Again, everyone is doing OnlyFans. So, and
Don't
she
judge
said
me when I start my OnlyFans this year, girl. You
She
can
said she, like, posted, "Oh, can someone, like, send me, like, $300 to get, like, a manicure?" And someone did. So she's getting money through it. And you know what she said? She said, "I have posted riskier pictures for my lingerie business than I have for OnlyFans."
Yeah,
So I'm
I
like
mean, it's like
so I'm
more
like, "So what are you posting on OnlyFans? Like, your feet?" She did admit she's done feet pics too.
girl.
I know.
I'm gonna do that this year. I can't.
So then we go back to the new couple, Tanya and Greg, and we kinda learn more about their relationship when they started dating. They were going to Dubai or Bali, and they had a layover in Seattle, and they knew some friends there. So they went out of the airport to hang out with their friends, and they got in 2 different cars. And Greg says before he could say something to the guy who was driving his car, or before he could finish the sentence, "Your friend drives like an idiot." The car that his they weren't married at the time, they were just boyfriend and girlfriend. The car that his girlfriend Tanya was in flipped over, and it landed upside down, and they show a picture of her head half shaved and she has stitches from, like, here all the way here,
Oh my
and
god.
he says that he feels like they trauma bonded because of this whole situation, and they ended up obviously getting married because 'cause they're married now, but there is definitely a strain in this relationship, and I don't know if Tanya just married him because of the whole trauma bonding and now she kinda regrets it, but they're one of the other couples that also sleeps in a different room as well. And he is Armenian, I think, and she's, what do you call it? The name
Persian.
of the show. Yeah, Persian, thank you. So I also don't know if that's also part of the conflict, but we learn a little bit more about them, and I believe they've been trying for a child too, and they haven't had any success, so that could also be a strain on their relationship as well. Because I believe she said they've tried, like, IVF and stuff like that, and that also hasn't worked. So I would imagine that would also be a huge strain on anyone's relationship.
Well, yeah, when you get because like people, that's what they do. They get married and then they want to have kids. Get married, have a family. You get married, and what happens if you can't have a family?
Exactly. And you try every possible way to have a family. Maybe she resents him for that, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, you feel worthless. I mean,
Mhm.
that bodies were meant to procreate,
Yep.
and if we can't do that, men in their world think, "Well, what are you used for?"
Yeah. Yeah. Ida, Mercedes' mom sits down with Tommy, they have, like, breakfast or something, and she tells Tommy that Mercedes isn't happy in their relationship. We learn more about how Tommy grew up. He grew up in Queens, he said, "Where the real gangsters live."
Stop it with Ben
How
Affleck?
he lost it. how he lost I know, how he lost his mom when he was 13. So kinda just a little bit more about how why he is who he is type thing.
Mhm.
And then Tommy says that if she isn't happy, she should divorce him then.
And here we are today.
Exactly. One more thing I forgot to touch on, Natasha's husband, I forget his name. We learn that he was married previously. We learned that he lost his wife. I don't remember how, but she was in the hospital and died before her birthday or before their anniversary. So, he ended up meeting Natasha, and I don't know if Natasha's kids are his kids or her kids from a previous marriage. But we learned that's why he's very, not adamant about her, but very into her and will do anything for her because he's also been through a previous, like, trauma of losing a wife and stuff like that. So I also thought that was interesting too. But so far, I'm loving, um, The Valley, Persian Style.
Okay. So I have to catch up on that one,
Salt Lake?
Salt Lake and Vanderpump.
Yes.
Ugh, it's a lot. I mean, I took a break. I couldn't even watch TV. Like, I was so
It's so much to watch if you're behind,
so
yeah.
much to watch. I know. I just want to cut off the Potomac. I want to cut off Potomac and I want to cut off Atlanta. Like, it's
Well,
just
I know, and we're almost done with Potomac too. I think they're gonna finish this Colorado trip, and then it'll be reunion. So then we'll be done with Potomac and Salt Lake.
good because I can't with these women anymore.
I
Like,
know, I know.
2026, we need to pick better choices. I mean, even if we have to cut out Potomac and Atlantic, I'm for it. And find other things to talk about in our podcast, like
Yeah,
motivational women or, other that I mean, not even about the show, maybe just about a specific housewife and what they're doing or just something else. Like I feel like we're wasting these
I
women
know,
and
I know.
cattiness because nobody
We
wants to
are.
see that cattiness and just watch it on TV.
Alright, Potomac, 12 and 13.
12 and 13, Angel says we are not getting evicted, so it falls back to the party.
Party.
And she's holding her 1-year-old,
Yeah,
telling these women, "I didn't get evicted from my home." Like, we're in front of a bunch of children and husbands, like, don't be rude. And she just said, "We didn't find a house in time that we liked, and we packed up and went to Colorado." Because literally when you buy a house and you're going through all the progress of financials and the loans and looking on your background, you really can't spend money. So it's almost
yeah.
like to
You're
get
like,
a
your credit's, like, in a freeze then.
exactly, your credit's
Yeah,
in a freeze. And then like I don't care if you're and if Bobby's a tightwad, but yet he may have a lot of money, but he doesn't like to spend it. That's his right. That's his right
yeah.
as a human. That's his right as living life and not so it's mind-boggling.
Weren't they questioning too, like, did she just move here to get on the show? Like, weren't some of the girls questioning that too?
Giselle was saying that, "Are you just here for the show and then leaving?" Which, I mean, there are women that have done that. I mean,
I mean, I don't see her with a one-year-old doing this just to be on the show. Why would anyone do that with a one-year-old? You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me.
it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make financial sense. Doesn't make like, "Oh, let's pack up my family."
Yeah, because I wanna get on the show for half a season.
Yeah, and they have a house in Colorado, and
Exactly.
they have their own company, so you'll find out in this 12 and 13,
Yeah.
they have their company where
Yes.
you go and you rent out this nice Colorado house, and then they have adventures, horseback riding,
Yes.
fishing, and all that stuff, so it's
Yes.
not like they don't have money.
Yeah, exactly.
So Ashley says that it's odd since you're on top of things, girl. And that's again, like she has a 1-year-old. I remember having brain fog and I couldn't remember to brush my teeth.
You're still in the
Uh,
midst of postpartum too, so you got a lot going on.
and it happens. She should know. Let's talk about we talked about Charisse and her outfit. Um, we talked about Ashley telling everybody and Charisse that she made out with her son. Um And then it starts off the party ends, everybody goes to separate ways, and then it starts with the next day. Tia and her family, I love it. Writing down chores, all sitting down at the table and making a list. All the kids have to say, what do you want to do? Clean, do dishes, take out the trash. What's your chores? And the kids' faces is priceless because it is every kid's face. Like,
I
no,
feel like and I also feel like it's relatable because that's what a lot of us are going through,
right.
so I thought that was nice to see.
I love it because Tia's like, look, my kids are spoiled and she's trying to like make them do chores.
Oh, her
And then
kids are definitely spoiled.
you can hear the production ask her a question and say, well, did you do chores when you were a kid? And she was like, no, my daddy was very, very rich.
Yeah,
We had a lot of workers and helpers.
yeah,
So then it was just a nice family. Yes, it was a good family dynamic. Wendy's renovation, the before and after pictures are really awesome. I think they did a
uh
really great job. I love the color scheme, except for the white. It's really hard to keep clean.
Oh, I
Wendy,
tell me about it.
oh my God. Your kitchen's pretty awesome. Um, Wendy and her dad reconcile. Tia and her half sister have a heart to heart about their
Mhm.
father. Apparently, he he passed away, but Tia never really got to know her half sister or half brother because Tia was always had her mother's back, and apparently there was some infidelity.
Yeah,
So I thought that was a good story. Wendy and her mom get into it about her reconciling with her father. And it just goes off because her mom starts going off and clearly she was too heated to understand that the children were around. So
she
Wendy
was
was like, can you pause?" And kids go upstairs and then mom got upset because Wendy was being a mother and trying to protect her children,
with
which I
kids.
completely understand. Like,
Yeah,
you don't wanna badmouth grandpa, you don't wanna badmouth anybody because the kids don't understand the dynamic yet, they're not old enough.
yeah,
So I hope Wendy and her mom get back on a good note because her mom was there for her during a hard time.
yeah,
Um, and sometimes I feel like it's the mother has a harder time with life because considering she had the kids, she had the
kids,
baby, she
yeah.
raised him by himself, like,
Well, she obviously feels some type of way about her dad.
yeah, he didn't raise the kids, he left them.
Yeah.
That was episode 12. Episode 13, Stacy and her daughter have a cute moment together. Stacy just now found out that her daughter is ambidextrous, which she can write and she writes with one hand, but then she cuts with another hand or something. And Stacy was like, "How come I didn't know this?"
Yeah, right?
So I thought that was a little cute moment. Um, Kay gets on a billboard for her new beauty bar, which I'm pretty sure her boyfriend paid for.
Yeah.
Props to her. Um, Tia is Tia and her stepsister go to her old house. So Tia calls this woman
Yeah.
and this or emails this woman this long letter, heartfelt letter of how she wants to come and look at the house and how it is. And it's just brings back memories. I don't know if it's good memories or bad memories.
Yeah. I couldn't tell.
Yeah, so very heartfelt moments. Gizelle, Ashley, and Wendy have lunch together and they all talk about the trip Angel invited them to Colorado and what to expect. Giselle is like, it better be up to par, up to expectations.
That's because she planned it. I was like, "You can't say that, Giselle."
Yeah. So good luck with that.
Yeah.
Ashley has a birthday bash for her and a few other her son and like her cousin, her uncle and stuff like that. And her mom's been drinking, like they start taking shots and her mom is a little bit tipsy and finally just tells everybody, "Hey, my partner is getting treatment." So he went into a rehab for addiction. It's very awkward again, actually. I
Yes.
just like if this is your storyline about your family, more props to it. I'm happy that you finally got your way and pushed him into therapy, which I don't
Yeah.
think should have been the route. I think you have to want to go to therapy, because if you get
Correct.
pushed and
Correct.
you have people push you into therapy, it's the
It's
wrong
not gonna
way.
work. Yeah.
And it does a reverse. It makes it worse.
But also, does he want this on camera?
I
Like, this is gonna be on camera for forever.
yeah. And he's never been on camera.
Yeah, but yet
So
his storyline will be.
his storyline will be, ooh, that sounds like a legal battle to me. Anyways,
Uh-huh.
Monique has a party for her book called Release of the Love Letters. I love the picture, everything. I don't know if I'd read it, but she wrote love letters to herself and put it in a book.
Hmm.
She hands out gifts to all the ladies, and in the gifts, it's a binder. And she makes these ladies write notes, and they have tabs on all the ladies. And so you flip to the lady and you write how you feel about them. And then she takes all the binders and mixes them up and gives them to each lady.
And have them
And
read
it
it.
starts a cat fight.
Of
And
course.
Ashley, in her notebook, ends up writing about Angel and telling her she's fake. And so then Angel like snaps on Ashley and basically says, "Oh, if you think I'm fake, why are you going to my Colorado house?
Mhm,
Like,
mhm.
who's the fake one?" Which is true.
Yeah,
So Angel's really upset, like she's shaking. Stacy's like, "Look, she's shaking. Ashley, can you just apologize?" And so Ashley apologizes for the word eviction and the word catfish or something. Um, so Angel accepts it. The ladies head to Colorado the next day. Um, but Angel pulls a trick out of her hat, and instead of going to the house, she rents an Airbnb for all the ladies except for Kay and Tia.
well, before that, she picks up the lady, she only takes 2 with her
She
in her
takes
car, and the
Mhm.
rest go in the other cars, which is I also thought was kinda shady.
Well, I because Bobby doesn't even like them in the first place, and I knew in the beginning it was weird. Like, why would Bobby There's no way Bobby's
Why
gonna.
would he agree to this?
So I think it was a setup from the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
And I think, Angel had this whole planned. The only thing is I don't know why, because she only invites Tia and Kay. Okay, Angel, Tia, and Kay, which is fine. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But she ends up giving out rooms, and everybody has a
Um,
nice room except for Ashley and Giselle.
they're
Giselle's
in the
like, I'm not
they're in
going.
the little twin beds in the smallest room.
Good for her. I mean, she pulled a Karen.
Mhm.
Um, Kay she has one shot and she stands up, and the altitude
Yep,
from
gets to her.
Colorado, and I've done that. I've taken a flight from here to Aspen one time, and I used to go to Aspen all the time and by myself. And then I would get there, and my boss had a condo there. He had a ski in, ski out, so didn't really spend holidays with my family. So I would get there and I'd spend a few days before he would get there, and then I would take care of his kids. And then so I got there 1 year early and I didn't drink enough water, got there, ordered a full pizza, ate it, puked it, and was
Oh
sick
my
for the
god.
next 3 days. It was
Oh
terrible.
my gosh.
So, yes, believe it when we say drink a lot of water.
Yeah.
Angel
Mhm.
played, yeah, and Giselle's pissed, and she's yelling, "You got evicted, you got evicted." Angel snaps and says, "What info do you have?" And Giselle's like, "It's not my info to tell. It's not my info to tell."
Yeah.
And I'm just like, ugh. They can't even get to the hotel. They can't even get
Like
to their
that.
rooms without.
Yeah.
She's so upset. She's pissed about her room. So that was that episode.